Hi, this is Nathan, and today we're talking about Rafael Nadal. His biography. I got the chance actually to see him about 3 weeks ago at the French Open. He won it again, which is quite amazing. 11 titles at the French Open at the moment. If you don't know who he is a tennis player, the number one in the world right now. Overall, he has 17 Grand Slams. There's only one player in the world who has more. Roger Federer has 20 Grand Slams at the moment, and it will be exciting to see if he's able to catch up with him. So in this video, I just want to share the key takeaways that I got out of this book. I thought it was an amazing book. I love reading it. So I would highly suggest for anyone to read it too, even if you're not a tennis player. All the lessons that he shares in his book and I think are very valuable, and he shares how he achieved the success that he has right now. And also it's just very inspirational, because if you see what he did and see how it can help you as well, you can be very motivated to go out and to perform. It was funny because I got to see him 3 weeks ago, and I was very excited to go out and play tennis as well. So anyways, let's get started. I will share some of the key takeaways that I got out of this book. Let me grab my notes here. So his first thing that really stood out for me was his coach, Uncle Tony. He used to be a professional tennis player as well, and when he saw his nephew play, he saw immediately how good he was and all the potential in him. And so he decided to work with him and to coach him. And he thought it was a great way to share all the lessons that he had learned in his career for his nephew. So that's what he did. He started to work with him. And one of the things that he did is he worked very, very hard with him. So he would, he would tried to push him every single day to work very, very hard. And that was one of the things that really stood out to me. He worked so insanely hard every single day, and the consistency here is very key. It was not just for a week, a month, but year after year, every single day he would work very hard. Another thing that he taught his nephew was to take responsibility. So some fun examples are when Rafa was 12 years old, he had to play a match and he forgot his water bottle, and it was very warm out there, but his Uncle Tony, he refused to get him some water, and there was a reason for that. It was not because he wanted him to suffer, maybe a little bit, but it was more because he wanted him to take responsibility for himself. Another fun example is at the French Open, actually. They had some food, and he had a croissant, a chocolate croissant in France, and I understand because the croissants there are very good, but it is not a great preparation for your match. But Uncle Tony refused to say anything. He thought, well, if he's going to eat that, then it's his choice. And then in the match, he had a stomach ache. And afterwards, they had a conversation about it. And he told his nephew, you cannot eat those things because you'll see what it does. And those are some examples how he taught his nephew to take responsibility for himself always. Number two is the defining moments in his career. So when Rafa was 12 years old, he lost a match, and he was so frustrated with himself. And it was not even the fact that he lost. It was because he did not give his 100% during the match. And most of people who play sports are mad because they lost, but he got mad because he just did not give his 100%. And from that point, he made a decision to, when he was out there on the court, to always give his 100%, because he was so frustrated with himself that he told himself, I don't want to have this happen again. And that was very powerful. And he was only 12 years old at this point when he made such a firm decision. I'm going to give my 100% every single time I'm on the court out there. Another key moment was when he had a foot injury. One of the doctors told him that he might never be able to play again. And he had a very hard time with that. He got depressed and he felt really bad. But after a while, he was able to play again. And he made a decision from the realization that, hey, this might be the very last time I can be out there on the court. So he made the decision to give again his full 100%, but also to have some fun, to enjoy the experience, because this might be the very last time I'm able to play tennis. And it was really like that, because he wasn't sure if he was able to play again, because one of the doctors, once I told him this is very serious, you might never be able to play again. This was a big realization for him, and that had a big impact on how he went about his practices and his matches, and on his mindset, his perspective on how he went out there on the court. Which brings me to point number 3, his mindset. So what I love about the book is that they share his matches, the Grand Slam like finals against Roger Federer, Novak Djokovic, and how he feels. And what he shares in the book over and over again is he has to beat himself before he can beat Roger Federer or Novak Djokovic. And I think that's a very interesting thing. The way he does that is by trying to bring his mind to the present moment. He shares how he lost in one of the finals against Roger Federer because his mind was not in the present. He was frustrated with some points that he lost, or he was getting, he thought about the future. Oh, what if I lose, or what if I win? And it was funny because the year after he played Roger Federer at Wimbledon again, and that's when he won in the 5th set. And one of the reasons was because his mindset improved. He was able to beat himself and to stay in the present moment. And it's very cool how he shares that in the heat of the game, how he's able to stay in the present moment and to remain the confidence. Another thing that he does is he watches himself on videos, and it helps him to make a visualization of himself where he hits a perfect shot every single time. And it helps him to feel good, and then to use that to perform better. It's funny because he says, I don't know how it works, but it just works. And we now know through the research that it works. If you make a clear visualization of yourself performing the way that you want, your body is able to produce that result in a better way. And it just works. So point number 4, the last key takeaway, which I thought was very interesting, was the surroundings. He surrounds himself with the people that he cares about the most, and he values that a lot. So his family, his coach, his physio, his friends, and he shares how it is important to not forget about those important things in life, because of course his tennis it means a lot to him and he wants to be the best out there, but without the support and spending the time with his friends and with his family, he's not able to perform at his best, because they make him feel safe, feel good, and he's just in a place where he can perform at his best. And I think that's very key, and he values that actually a lot. So he appreciates his family because they give him the support and everything they need, or that he needs and likes. So I like the quote actually that he shares here. It's the Nadal phenomenon is greater than the sum of its parts. So he actually he says it himself that without those people he wouldn't be able to achieve all the success that he has right now. And that's very nice to see that how he values that so much, and how it has helped him to perform so well, to also have the right coach, a good physio, and all those people, and the friends and the people and his family. So I think that's it's very key to his success overall. So anyways, those were the 4 key takeaways that I got out of the book. So I hope that's helpful for you. I think it's key to not only to listen to this, but also to use it for yourself. What are some of the key takeaways that you can apply for yourself and to perform better and to achieve the success that like you want to achieve? So anyways, I hope that was helpful and inspiring. If you liked it, then subscribe to my YouTube page and like this video, and feel free to share it with others as well. And I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks for watching.